Welcome to the Buck Brief. Trump will win even if he is found guilty. Now, there's a lot to unpack there, but let's just start with this. I do believe that Donald Trump is going to be found guilty in this sham, preposterous trial in New York City. I could be wrong, and you will know probably in a little over a week if I am wrong, but I think that the jury, the fix is in. I think the judge has made it as easy as he can for this show trial to proceed. But I do think that the politics of this are blowing back on the Democrats in ways that they just frankly didn't anticipate at all. I do think the Democrats are in a bit of a frenzy right now. What are they going to do? What are they going to do if Donald Trump is found guilty of 34 felonies? And then they see the poll numbers go up because every American who does not suffer from Trump derangement syndrome understands what's going on here. What is their next play? They're going to try another trial, probably the J6 trial. I just don't think that any of this is going to change in terms of where the American people come down on it. I think that there's a recognition that this is the dirtiest of politics, using the machinery of our judiciary to try to destroy Donald Trump. It's outrageous on so many levels. The judge, Merchan, should have thrown this whole thing out in the beginning. He still could say the government hasn't proven its case at all, and he could throw it out at this stage. He could set aside a jury verdict if it were guilty and say Donald Trump is free to go. This jury verdict is going to be put aside. Now, he won't do that. I understand this. But there are plenty of ways where he could do the right thing. He is just choosing not to do so. What exactly is the crime that they claim Trump committed here? That he, by having Michael Cohen pay Stormy Daniels and listing it as a legal expense, he changed the views that people would have had of him, so much so that it might have altered the election. But the payments were made in 2017 after the 2016 election. So that makes no sense. This is absurd. The whole premise of this is a falsehood. It doesn't hold up. And if it did hold up as they lay it out, that would mean that if he had to list it as a campaign expenditure, which is what they are saying, because otherwise it wouldn't, you don't have to tell, you don't have to list in a campaign if you buy yourself a slice of pizza, right? There are personal expenditures and campaign expenditures. If this is a campaign expenditure, he could have used campaign money for it. And they definitely would have prosecuted him for that. So this is a truly damned if he does, damned if he doesn't situation. They know it. But that's why it's the perfect case for them, because it's not about fair. It's not about justice. It's about, they hate this guy. They hate Donald Trump. And so anything that will work for them as a means of trying to take him down is what they will leap toward. I mean, that's what they will do. They'll find a way to justify it to themselves at every stage, as they have. They're saving democracy or whatever. But I think it couldn't be any more clear at this point. I mean, Michael Cohen is their star witness, and everybody had to admit that this guy is among the scummiest people you've ever seen at this level of public life and involved in a trial in this way, who had formerly been a lawyer. I mean, Michael Cohen is a really bad guy. Now, that much is obvious. You can't trust him. He's a man who turns on his clients. He's a man who steals from his clients. He's a man for whom loyalty means absolutely nothing. And now he's, it's funny because he cashed in on his relationship with Trump. Now he's cashed in on bashing Trump, writing books and going on MSNBC and all the rest of it. What a sorry state of affairs it is in New York that this prosecution has gone forward. I mean, Alvin Bragg is a truly disgraceful person. What he has done here is grotesque. It is an abuse of the law. And I'll say this. You have, yes, Trump is a better president than Biden. Yes, the economy would be better. Yes, people had a major increase in wealth under Trump, and they've had a loss in wealth. Average family, average household, loss of wealth under Biden. All that's true. But we really are at the point where a vote for Donald Trump this fall as a nullification of the lawfare against him would be entirely justified. A vote for Donald Trump that is meant to just say, we are not going to abide by this nonsense. We're not going to let this happen. That makes perfect sense to me. Even if he were a mediocre to kind of weak leader and Republican, I would say we have to send a message. And that's where we are with this. We have to send a message that this cannot result in victory for the side that is engaged in it. Because if it does, this is now our new reality. You're going to have prosecutions like this. You're going to have lawfare against conservative voices. And people say, well, why can't we do the same thing to them? Because they have no ethics and they don't care. And we try not to destroy everything that we touch and try to live by a code. And I know that that sounds trite to people, and sometimes it sounds trite when I say it out loud. I mean, to myself, I'm just like, that's just preposterous. But, why the way that you fix a communist society is not by trying to immiserate all of your political enemies and put them in the gulag. It's freedom, fighting for human dignity, individual rights, a constitution like what we have. I'm just saying, it can't just be do unto them what they do unto us, because then we're heading off into a really bleak future in this country. Maybe that's where we're heading. I'm not naive about this. I wish I could tell you that I thought things were going to go better than they are, but my white pill moment, if you will, for there's red pill, which is learn about reality. The blue pill, stay in the reality you're in. The white pill is the future is going to be great, right? Or there's something great to look forward to. There's hope. The white pill is about hope. I think that even if Donald Trump is convicted in this New York trial, he is still likely to win this election, and he certainly will win in the court of public opinion. I think you're going to see, and this is what I mean by win. I can't tell you he'll definitely win the election. I think he will. But I'm very confident that his poll numbers will go up after a conviction in New York because it's such a sham. I also have some updates for you on the situation in the Florida trial, which we shall discuss here in just a moment. Now is a great time to own gold. That inflation is just going to keep on chipping away at your savings, and tangible assets that have proven to hold value over time, like precious metals, are a good way to diversify your portfolio. You can use it as a hedge against inflation, a store of value, and it's something that you hold that's solid, that is going to be worth, a lot, right? I mean, gold is how many thousands of years back can you say that gold was a medium of exchange and that gold held value? You can't say that about a lot of other things these days. So nobody can predict the future, but I think you should prepare for it. You can call the Oxford Gold Group right now. You may qualify for up to $10,000 in free precious metals. Call 833-995-GOLD, 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. All right, let's switch to our Florida case here with Trump. As you know, he's got another criminal case. There's 4 criminal cases against him, but the Florida case, which seems to be in a state of delay right now because all the classified information stuff has to be dealt with still. So that's something that we're looking into. We're trying to figure out what's going to happen with. But when you see this, this is crazy, okay? This is crazy. Donald Trump has responded to it. Julie Kelly, full credit to her, is the one who unearthed this in the court documents. She said, I just came out of the Biden witch hunt trial in Manhattan. This is Trump on Truth Social, the icebox, and we've shown reports that crooked Joe Biden's DOJ and their illegal and unconstitutional raid of Mar-a-Lago authorized the FBI to use deadly lethal force. Now we know for sure that Joe Biden is a serious threat to democracy. He is unfit to hold office. 25th Amendment. So Trump is not pleased at all to find out what Julie Kelly has unearthed here. Let me read to you what exactly it said. I mean, the stuff that they've gone for here is outrageous. Here you go. This is for the raid. This is Julie Kelly's reporting. She has her declassified Substack. According to operations order produced in Discovery, the FBI believed its objective for the Mar-a-Lago raid was to seize classified information, NDI, which is National Defense Information, and U.S. government records as described in the search warrant. The order contained a policy statement regarding use of deadly force, which stated, for example, law enforcement officers of the Department of Justice may use deadly force when necessary. The agents plan to bring standard issue weapons, ammo, handcuffs, and medium and large sized bolt cutters, but they were instructed to wear unmarked polo or collared shirts to keep law enforcement equipment concealed. Why is this in here? Why would they include that? I sent it to a couple law enforcement friends of mine, and they said that's not normal. It's bizarre, right? I've never worked in the FBI, worked in the CIA, but I could tell you that we didn't just throw random lethal force disclaimers into CIA stuff. That would have raised a lot of eyebrows, right? I don't know, If you're late to work, maybe you get droned. I don't know, lethal force. I mean, it's pretty crazy. And I wonder, I'm assuming their explanation is just going to be, it's just standard to have this and it means nothing. It's not standard to have this. It's grotesque. And the whole raid on Mar-a-Lago was appalling. For what? For documents that nobody was reading, that nobody had access to, that the president says that he declassified when he was president? That's really what this is all about? I mean, what are the chances that old classified stuff that Trump has, or formerly classified stuff the stuff that Trump has, is really a national security threat? I'll tell you, the chances are almost zero. But they act like it's some urgent matter. I mean, if it was so urgent, why do they wait for months of back and forth with the lawyers on this? Back and forth with the lawyers. If it was urgent, if it was nuclear secrets and, Russians are going to get it and dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria, they wouldn't have been able to wait on it, right? This is ugly, what Joe Biden and his thugs in the DOJ and the FBI and the various court systems that are being used to attack Trump. It's ugly what's going on. And it is very concerning for all of us who love this country and who believe still in America. But I'm not sure what's going to happen. And in fact, I just watched a new documentary called America's Last Election. You've got to go watch it. It's produced by my friend, the legendary economist Porter Stansberry. It details a new financial crisis that could be brewing in America and the dangers it poses to millions of Americans. How you work, where you live, how you plan for retirement. Nothing may ever be the same. So make sure you watch this new documentary while it's still online. Go to lastelectiondocumentary.com. That's lastelectiondocumentary.com. I watched the whole thing. I mean, Porter's a brilliant guy, and he's got vision. I mean, he sees what's coming. He sees what's coming for the markets, politics. I mean, think about this. Last Election, right? That's the documentary title. Go to lastelectiondocumentary.com, paid for by Porter and Company. So, like I said before, stay focused and like I say all the time, I should say, stay focused and stay frosty. I think the good guys can still win here. I think Trump is going to be able to battle through all of this craziness with these trials, but it's going to be a dogfight to the end for this election. Shield time. Oh yeah, sorry by the way about my cold, but I talk too much every day as it is.